I'm Mark, and I'm just going to show you today on how to safely operate a pallet stacker truck or pallet pedestrian truck in a working environment. So prior to using the machine, we would have done all our pre-checks to make sure the machine is fit for practice, and also make sure that all the legal requirements would have been done prior to using the machine. So again, like I say, we've already done the pre-checks prior to using it. We've also discussed and made sure that the lifting limitations are within the recommendations of the loads that we're lifting, and also the loads that we're lifting are safe for use as well. So again, like I said, there will be documents on the machine, and this is one of the inspection documents that we want to make sure is again within date. Other than that, like I say again, the manual should be in the machine. So, like I say, moving on, we're going to show you now transporting it through the dogleg chicane. We're going to pick up a load, again showing you the positions that you need to be in the aisle, and also make sure that you've got the right aisle for the size of truck that you're using. So just to start off, like I say, we're going to switch it on. Again, making sure the battery is fit for practice as well. Again, we've got a green light on battery. Again, if it is red or it's showing signs of discharge, then you must put it immediately on charge. So get yourself ready as well. Always like to make sure the telehandle is up in the upright position, because that means the brake will be applied. Again, it depends on manufacturers. They will have their own different sort of designs, but this is the way that the normal rule of thumb should be. So again, like I say, it's in the parking position, which means again we can't move when we're lifting and lowering. Lifting up just a little bit off the ground, obviously just make sure we're not catching the forks on the bottom end. Alright, now we've got ourselves into a nice safe travel position. Again, we're just going to do a check down, make sure no one's coming, and with sufficient throttle, again, just maintaining that nice speed, following around the dogleg chicane. Again, you always want to be on your pivot sides closest to the obstruction, which gives you plenty of room for that back end swing. Again, like I say, once you come to the aisle, again, the aisle should be sufficient for the size of the truck and load that we're transporting. And again, we've already done those measurements prior to it. So we're finding our position again, trying to make our way over to the stack that we're picking up. Again, finding our pivoting point. Now the pivoting point will be on the front wheels of the truck, or the balance wheels on the truck. Again, depending on the steering, in this case it is off to one side, so if it was centered it would be matched either side, but with this being to one side, again, there will be a difference on positioning when you are approaching to place and retrieve the stack. So again, with sufficient tilt, sufficient lock, you should be able to spin on the spot and position your forks ready for the centre. Now, if you're not too happy with your alignment position, again, like I say, they're all different, then the best thing to do is come back out of that area into the open area, because as you can see inside that aisle, there's not much room for us to manoeuvre. So again, any adjustments, try and do them outside of the aisle. Once you're happy that you have got the right position, again, approaching the stack and stopping with a 150mm gap. Once you've got yourself in position, again, telehandle has gone up, so the brake should be applied, and then we can go to our operations for lifting, raising it to the height that's required, which is somewhere local in the centre of the location. Once you've got into that right height, and again checking before you move it up and making your way into the stack. Now, obviously you can do slight adjustments as you're going in, but you really want to make sure that you're nice and straight going in and out of these locations. Once you can see the forks going in, again, just make sure you're maintaining those stabilised legs, because you don't want them to come in contact with them. Right? Again, all the way into the stack. So we're picking it up to the hip. Once we're all the way in, telehandle goes back up, which the brake will be applied, and we can then lift it to a height that's required, which is just a couple of inches off the stack. Once we've raised it a couple of inches off the stack, again we're checking before we move off. and nice and straight in and out of location. Again, spending half an eye on the load, but also half on the direction that you're travelling in. Again, once you've come out enough, that's where you can then lower it down to the height that's required. So it's around about 2 to 4 inches off the ground. Alright, so again, like I say, we have got an aisle, not much room, but the idea is that we never want to trap ourselves, so we're always pushing the machine away from us. Again, pushing away, again, giving it the throttle, we're going to walk back to our dog leg. Again, as far as our dog leg is concerned, it's about positioning yourself again. And you want to be, like I say, walking the longest way round the vehicle. So you're always constantly pushing that vehicle away from you. Alright, now we're going to deposit the load back off. Little check before we move off. Again, keeping it tight into the turning corners or the obstructions, so you've got plenty of room for that back end swing to come round. Again, finding that position in the aisle which is more open towards the stack that you're depositing the load at. Again, you've got to give it enough room for the load to swing around as well, so don't be too tight into the stack. Again, once you've lined yourself up in the position with sufficient lock, turning on the spot. Again, stopping within 150mm of the load, we're going to raise the stack. Again, selecting the right control. Just above the stack, nice and straight in and out. Now again, the same thing applies, making sure that we're happy, that the load's going in well. Once we're happy with the load, then going towards the left. So as soon as we can see loads going on nicely, that we are paying attention to the left. Again, like I say, going to take load all the way into the stack. Once you're all the way in, again, telehandler goes up to apply the parking brake. We lower the load down. Just need to go in a little bit more just to straighten that off. Lower that down. Once it's down enough, little check before you come back out. Nice and straight in and out the stack. Again, 50% on the direction, 50% just make sure you're not pulling the load back down. Again, like I say, once the forks are out of the stack, bringing those forks down to a safe travel height. Again, pushing the truck away from you to clear the aisle. Once you're out the aisle, again, position yourself in the dog leg on the longest way around the vehicle. Because again, if you were on the shortest side, as you can see, then it would then challenge my heel. Again, pushing away. And again, obviously we're talking about more confined areas, not in sort of general open areas. These are the sort of confined areas that we're working with, because again, like you say, it's not too bad when you've got more room, it's when you've got least room where we need to be considering. So again, once you've brought your truck back, again make sure that you've landed the truck, telehandle nice and straight, you've switched off and taken the key out. And that would be the end of our pallet stacker warehouse training. Thank you.